Welcome to Drain the Rabbit Hole, and today we're gonna look at the real difference between learning and radicalization. Spoiler alert, there is none. So let's look at that. Now, the academic literature on radicalization explains it as a radicalization process, the process of becoming radical. You don't just wake up and think that Bill Gates is trying to conquer the world with his vaccines. No, you learn it bit by bit. You become radicalized. To me, that sounds a lot like a learning process. You can't just buy a guitar and take it home and sound like Eddie Van Halen. No, that's not possible. You need to learn it bit by bit. You're gonna sound shit in the beginning, but once you learn it, you can become a master. So it's a learning process. And a radicalization process is the same process. It is just that it is forbidden knowledge. That's the difference. So I would argue that there's no difference between being radicalized or becoming learned in something. It is just who has the power of definition, who can decide whether this is a learning process or a radicalization process. Take, for example, during Nazi Germany, any critique against leaders, against the Nazi regime, would be labeled as conspiracy theories and radicalizations. So if you were in Nazi Germany and you learned the truth about what the Nazi regime were doing, for example, in the concentration camps and things, and you went out and said, this is not okay, this is not good, we need to stop this is the truth, this is what actually happening, they would have said you have become radicalized. And you see what I'm saying? But today, if you go to school and you learn about the truths about what the Nazis really did, what they did in the concentration camps, and you learn that that is not a good thing, well, then you are learning. You are becoming learned about the history of the Nazi regime. But during the Nazi regime, you would have become radicalized. But you are learning exactly the same thing in both scenarios. The only difference is who has the power of definition. There is no difference between learning and radicalization. If you want to become a master in some topic of history, you're becoming radicalized in that topic, going from a small amount of knowledge to a large amount of knowledge. If I want to become an expert on colonialism, I can read many books about colonialism, read many sources, and I can say I am learning about colonialism. But if I start learning about society and how society works and the incentives behind why we are doing different things, and I start thinking that, oh shit, immigration is just a scam to make the rich richer, then all of a sudden I'm becoming radicalized. I'm not learning. No, because those who have the power of definition do not agree with me. So I'm becoming radicalized. I'm not learning. So thanks for watching. Please comment down below what you think is the real difference between learning and radicalization. I think there's no difference, so let me know what you think. Thanks for watching.